Bold moves in diplomacy often spark the fiercest debates, and the UK's anticipated recognition of a Palestinian state is no exception. Sir Keir Starmer is on the verge of making an official announcement this Sunday that the UK will formally recognize Palestine as a state. This decision marks a significant departure from previous British foreign policy, which traditionally conditioned recognition on the progress of a peace process aimed at maximum diplomatic effect. Earlier this year, Prime Minister Starmer set a clear timetable. If Israel did not meet specific demands by September, namely, agreeing to a ceasefire in Gaza and committing to a durable peace arrangement based on the two-state solution, then the UK would reconsider its stance. Now, ministers believe the moment has arrived to act, viewing it as a moral imperative to keep alive the hope for a peaceful resolution in the region. But here's where it gets controversial. The Israeli government, alongside some Conservative Party members and families of hostages taken by Hamas, have strongly condemned this move. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has described it as a reward for terror. The hostages' families have voiced grave concerns, arguing that this recognition complicates efforts to secure the release of those still held captive by Hamas. In an open letter, they urge the Prime Minister to delay recognition until the remaining 48 hostages, including about 20 believed to be alive, are safely returned. They also claim Hamas has used the UK's decision as a propaganda win and backed away from ceasefire agreements. Adding to the tension, U.S. President Donald Trump expressed disagreement with the UK's direction during his recent visit. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch acknowledges supporting a two-state solution, but cautions against recognition without the hostages' release, labeling it as effectively rewarding terrorism. The background to this shift is stark. Government sources point to a dramatic worsening of the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, with distressing images of starvation and violence stirring global outrage. The current Israeli ground offensive in Gaza City has been described by a UN official as cataclysmic, displacing hundreds of thousands of civilians. This military action follows Hamas's unprecedented attack on southern Israel in October 2023, which resulted in significant casualties and hostage situations. The UK's decision also cites the unrelenting expansion of Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank, a move widely considered illegal under international law. Justice Secretary David Lammy spotlighted the controversial E1 settlement project, which opponents fear could effectively destroy any prospect of a viable, contiguous Palestinian state. The Palestinian Authority's President Mahmoud Abbas welcomed the UK's recognition pledge when he met with Starmer earlier this month. Notably, both leaders agreed that Hamas, designated a terrorist organization by the UK government, would have no role in future Palestinian governance, a crucial caveat. However, this recognition is symbolic rather than practical for now. Although around 75% of UN member states recognize Palestine, the entity has no defined borders, capital, or standing military. The two-state solution envisages Palestine taking control of the West Bank and Gaza Strip, with East Jerusalem as its capital. But Israel currently maintains military occupation over these territories, limiting Palestinian Authority. Many within the UK Labour Party have long pushed for Palestinian recognition, pressuring Starmer to adopt a firmer position on Israel, especially from the party's left wing. Indeed, before Starmer's July announcement, over half of Labour MPs signed a letter urging immediate recognition. Yet critics question why the UK government appears to demand conditions of Israel, but not from Hamas. The chief rabbi, Sir Ephraim Mirvis, has called for caution, highlighting that the recognition is not tied to the existence of a functioning or peaceful Palestinian government, nor to Hamas releasing hostages. He considers this risky given the ongoing turmoil. In response, government officials emphasize that the call for Hamas to release hostages and agree to a ceasefire remains firm. However, they argue the right to statehood belongs to the Palestinian people, regardless of Hamas's actions. Starmer reinforced this stance recently, insisting Hamas cannot be a part of any future Palestinian state. This announcement is poised to reverberate far beyond UK politics and may influence international perspectives on one of the most protracted and complex conflicts in modern history. While some welcome it as a step toward peace and justice, others fear it could inflame tensions further or impede humanitarian efforts. What do you think? Does recognizing Palestinian statehood now truly help the peace process? Or does it risk exacerbating an already volatile situation? Share your views below. We want to hear whether you agree with the UK's bold move or believe it's a step too soon.